Happy Saturday, Connect family, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Connect Network TV right here on the CW. I'm your host, Stitches, along with my gal pal co-host, Miss Wendy. Hey, girl, hey.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I am blessed, a little sad. Our girl Sandy is off today, but it is for a good reason. We can say two time for the birthday girl. Put her in the circle, bless her. That's the new birthday song. So happy birthday to our gal pal, Sandy Glad. Hopefully you are enjoying, sis. So we got to go into it. You ready, Wendy?
We are, and we are very excited that you're with us today because we're diving into a topic that can literally change your life and your bank account. I'm sure we all love that. So real estate investing for women in 2025 is what we will be discussing today on the show.
So whether you're renting right now, working your 9 to 5, or just starting to dream a little bit bigger, this episode is for you. It's for you today. So tell a friend, grab a friend. We're talking about how any woman really can start investing in real estate, even with less than $10,000. According to a report, check this out, Wendy, from the National Association of Realtors, women have up nearly 19% of all real estate investors. And that number is growing fast. But here's the thing. Many women still don't know where to start, or they think it's out of their reach, but it's not.
That's true. And in fact, 2025 is really a smart time to buy, even with the shifting interest rates, Stitches, and changing market conditions. Experts say that this year could be the perfect time to make that leap from renter to owner, especially for women who want to build equity, stability, and generational wealth.
Exactly, because when you own, you're not just paying for a place to live. Truly, you're paying yourself. So let's get into it. And Wendy, you are a realtor, so this is your lane, okay? You're a realtor for Compass right there in Austin. So let me know if I'm getting this right. Espérate. Here are 3 ways any woman can start investing in real estate with less than 10K. This is awesome. Let's go. First, house hacking. Rent out part of the property while you live in it. This is great if you're considering a duplex or fourplex. You live in one unit, rent out the others while you own the property. Yes? Okay. Number 2, partnering with others. Pool your resources with friends or family and own together. Of course, with people that you trust and that you trust. That's a priority.
Ask and you shall receive.
Come.
Absolutely.
And third, start with turnkey or long distance rentals in affordable markets. Is that a good one as well? That's good.
It is. And I would say we discuss that a little bit later on in the show. So hopefully they'll stay tuned in.
Love it. So let me ask you this, Wendy. If someone watching today only has about $5,000 in savings and a dream to invest, what's one small tip or step you can share that someone can take right now to get closer to that goal? What would you say?
I would say talk with a loan officer and a really good real estate agent, both who have experience with investors in the area that you're looking at. They will be able to give you a better idea of what kind of ROI, so return on investment, that you will be receiving in the area that you're wanting to buy in. So I think that's one quick tip, and that's where you can get started. And, Stitches, let's flip it. What do you think is the biggest mental hurdle for women when it comes to owning property? And how can we push that and past that in 2025?
I think one of the biggest hurdles is, we mentioned it earlier, is thinking that it's in reach. That's number one. And just actually going out and doing it. Because for some, I can really speak on behalf of millennials, just working and one, working and being so busy, if you will, and then having to manage everything and just to think, okay, this is another, I don't want to say liability, but switching the mindset of thinking of it as an investment. But I will say a lot of millennials now more than ever are, and I'm sure our guest is going to be talking about this, are in the spaces of investing into homes. So, but I think one of the main hurdles, to just answer your question, is actually going out and believing like, hey, we can do it. And student loans, honey. Student loans is a big one.
Well, and what I love, as you mentioned in the tips before earlier, that also now, they're very open to asking a friend or, to go in on it, or a family member or investor. So I think that's a good way to, go past the obstacles of owning in 2025 or investing in 2025.
Exactly. What'd you say? Ask and you shall receive. You never know until you ask. And you know me, honey, I'm going to pray about everything. So I'm going to ask, Lord, what do we do? Who do you say? Cut the corners, okay? And let's not forget the power of passive income, right? Real estate is one of the most effective side hustles, if you will, for women who want to make money while they sleep. Residual income. I just said this today. Making more money while I'm not moving, okay? Make it move for me. You can have your 9 to 5 and have income flowing in from rental checks, short-term vacation stays, you name it, right?
Right. So true. And this is really important. Real estate investing can be a powerful vehicle for generational wealth, something many women are focusing on as they take control of their financial futures. And this isn't just about the now, Stitches. It's about building a legacy for our children, your family, and your community.
You are exactly right. So, sis, if you're listening to this and saying, I don't have all the monies, or I don't know where to start, we want you to pause, hold up, pause that fear and stay with us, because the info we're sharing today is about empowering you to make an informed move.
Absolutely. And it's also time for more of us to own land, own homes, and own our futures. So don't go anywhere. We've got so much more coming up, including tips on how to take first step into real estate without breaking the bank.
I love it. Don't touch that remote, because up next, we're talking real estate, real money, and real legacy. I like that. Trust us. This one might just be the blueprint you've been waiting for. Stay focused. Stay right there.
In today's digital age, podcasts have emerged as one of the most powerful tools for connection, education, and influence. With over 464 million listeners worldwide, podcasts are redefining how we engage with content, offering a space for deep storytelling, meaningful conversations, and authentic connections. Podcasts are unique. They're not just a medium, they're a movement. A podcast can educate, inspire, and empower audiences, making them one of the most impactful ways to amplify your voice in a crowded digital landscape. But what makes a podcast truly stand out? It's more than just hitting the record button. It's about creating stories that resonate, ensuring professional sound quality, and delivering content that keeps listeners coming back week after week. At the Connect Network TV, our team of passionate creatives, backed by cutting-edge technology, helps bring your podcast vision to life. Whether you're a brand looking to amplify your message or an individual with a story to share, we ensure your voice captivates your audience and leaves a lasting impression. Our mission is to help you connect with your audience on a deeper level, inspire them with your stories, and build a loyal community around your podcast. In this ever-evolving digital world, don't let your voice go unheard. Let's create a podcast that inspires, influences, and connects.
ever feel like there just aren't enough hours in the day? Between managing emails, scheduling meetings, and handling countless daily tasks, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your big picture goals and personal well-being. That's where a virtual assistant comes in. Think of them as your right-hand partner, ready to take care of the details and lighten your load so you can focus on what drives your success. Virtual assistants are more than just task managers. They transform how you work by handling the time-consuming, repetitive tasks that often hold you back. From scheduling appointments to managing your inbox, they give you back the gift of time. It's not just about outsourcing. It's about empowering your productivity. With the right virtual assistant by your side, you're working smarter, reclaiming your time, and achieving more every day. Imagine the possibilities when your energy is focused on innovation, strategy, and the things you truly enjoy. Why wait? Unlock your potential and take your productivity to the next level. Let us help you make every hour count. Learn more at theconnectonline.com.
Stitch is here with my amazing gal pal, Wendy Morales. Welcome back to our show. You are watching the Connect Network TV. Today's guest is a powerhouse millennial changing the game in real estate across the globe, honey. She's a financial consultant, a global landlord. Yes, global landlord. You heard me right. And someone who is really showing people, especially communities of color, how to rewrite the narrative when it comes to wealth building through real estate. She's here to help us shift our perspective from financial trauma to global ownership. Candace, welcome back to the show. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Tap, tap, tap.
We are very excited to have you with us today, Candace. And let's start with this. You talk a lot about financial trauma in the Black community. So for those who may not fully understand that term, explain to us what it is and how it shows up in financial decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. So financial trauma is the emotional and psychological stress that's caused by money-related struggles, systematic oppression, and generational barriers. So it really affects how we spend, save, invest, our fear of debt and risk-taking, our ability to really build generational wealth. So it's deeply rooted in our history and even our bloodlines.
Nice. And you also challenge a traditional belief that we should buy our primary home first, but you encourage people to actually consider purchasing a rental property first instead. Can you break down that mindset shift and really why it might be smarter wealth building? What do you think?
Absolutely. So this came from one, I actually ended up losing my US property, not losing it completely. I had to sell it, right? So this was the first property that I had ever bought. And I came into it thinking, okay, I'll start with this one and I'll move on to another one. But something happened at work. And so I wasn't able to keep the property and take care of myself. And so I dug a little bit deeper into, well, what if I would have purchased my rental property first? Where would I have been these 3 years later? And as I dug, I actually found a lot of research around a significant percentage of millennials that actually do regret owning a home. So yeah, reports actually indicate that a large portion of millennial homeowners, ranging from 63% to 90%, have regret about actually owning their first. I know. And I was like, okay, so it's not just me. I was like, I'm not the only one who made a slight mistake, in trying to achieve, this American dream, right? And so I came to the conclusion that maybe the American dream isn't dead, as a lot of, millennials on Instagram, Facebook, the tickety talks, all the things are saying. Maybe it's just shifted, right? And so now we really need to look at purchasing the rental property first, especially if we don't have a secondary income, if we don't have another business and we're just having one stream of income. And also that like mindset that most millennials have, it stems from becoming house broke after you make the purchase, right? And not properly preparing for all the maintenance and the upkeep that it takes to actually own a home.
Right.
It honestly, if anybody told you how much maintenance it takes and how much money, you wouldn't do it. You'd be too scared. we're already scared by the financial, commitment and obligation that it takes. But we don't really get told about, oh my God, what happens if 24 hours after you purchase the property, the water pipe bursts? Like it happened to me, right? What happens if you lose your job? What happens if you do get a tenant and you don't have enough money saved up to actually repair the property if you need to do so, right? And so that's really where that thought process came from.
So interesting, Candace. And, one thing that we know that really sets you apart is your global approach. You help your clients buy international rental properties. Wow, that sounds like really amazing. But also I would be intimidated because that could be very intimidating. So walk us through what the process looks like and why it's more accessible than people might think this is.
Yeah. So honestly, for international, I do tend to gear more so towards homeowners, towards those who already have a home, because although the process is pretty much the same, like you go through the same 9 steps, the looking for the title, doing due diligence, making sure that that's clean, finding the actual development. For us, it's a little bit easier because I provide a turnkey solution. And that's actually with my international agency, but we actually do the contracts and work out everything with the developers. And so that's half of the work is the property acquisition. And so we take care of that for you. And then while the construction is going on, we actually build out your rental property business for you too. That's all the back end. So that's website, business credit, registration, all that cool stuff. So we take care of a lot of the heavy lifting for you. However, it is very intimidating for first-time home buyers because they always feel like, well, if I don't have property here in the US, how am I even going to consider thinking about going international? And so I really do gear that more so towards those who already have properties or whoever who already own homes here in the US, because it's an easier thought process. They've already been through the US process. So they're like, okay, I feel a little bit comfortable. This feels a little bit more normal to me. And so I'll go ahead with it. We really try to make that process as simple as possible and as ethical as possible, right? We don't want to go into other countries and seem as though we're trying to colonize them or we're trying to invade their space or anything like that, right? As well as keeping the American buyer safe, right? Because even I had an issue with my first plot with making sure that title is actually clean and making sure that the owner is actually going to give it over to you and all the things. Yeah, so we make sure that, we work those deals out for the buyers, but we typically look at homeowners and landlords.
And I actually had a question, but this came up after you just stated something. So what's one tip that you would recommend for someone who's interested or wanting or in the process of going international to purchase property or home?
If you're going to so there's 2 different ways, right? And both of those pathways look different, right? So for those of you who are thinking about going into it because you want to make money, right? You're going into it because you want a rental business and you want the cash to flow back into the United States. You're actually going to want to go into profitable markets, right? So no emotion. This is all logic and numbers, right? Is this rental market actually making money, right? A lot of people always talk about, I always like to make the comparison between Kenya and Ghana, right? So I'm in Kenya, and a lot of people that come to me, they're always like, oh my God, I want to buy a rental property in Ghana. And I'm like, they don't have a profitable market for that. Most of the money, that is made from foreign dollars in Ghana is during the December month, right? The Dirty December that they always do, and the, Afrotella. I think they call it something different now. But it's only that time period. Ghana is really for settling, right? So if you want to immigrate and you're ready to live, on your American salary internationally, then Ghana would be the place to go, not Kenya, because then you'd be paying almost, I would say close to what you pay here, right? In a lower market in the US, let's say like a Florida market, right? You would be paying that internationally in Kenya, right? So you really want to look at what is the reason why I want to purchase the real estate international, and then go into the markets that make sense for that actual purpose.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. You touched on this a little, but I want to kind of go into it a little deeper. How does your financial consultancy help guide those clients, especially when it comes to using their first property as a rental investment here in the U.S.?
Yeah. So first of all, the income care unit uses which is my consultancy. We use a holistic view of the client's personality, your risk tolerance, credit, cash flow, taxes, and your financial goals to assess what the right path to homeownership is for the actual individual, right? Although I do push, like, it makes the most sense in the economic, time period that we're in to go directly into rental ownership instead of trying to work your way up, which is what, traditionally has been done. Some clients aren't there mentally, right, to go directly into the buying process. So we step in with the in-depth education, the money management setup to get the client both financially and emotionally ready to purchase the property. That's domestically here in the US as well as internationally, because this is it's a big commitment to make it here, right? So think about, now I'm going to send all my monies, okay, over into this foreign land and hope that nobody runs off with it, right? So that's typically what we do to get them prepared, is really that money management and that education.
Wow, Candace, you've given us so much to think about, from shifting mindsets to building global wealth. This is the knowledge that we need, ladies, right? I know I'm really, taking it all in. And before we let you go, where can people find you and keep up with you and everything that you're doing and how they can invest?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me at the Candace Greene across all social media, and I'll be happy to direct you to the resources I have for purchasing either here in the US or internationally.
I love it. And Candace, anything else you want to share with the beautiful people? You could give us your socials and all the things.
Yeah. So for me directly, it's going to be at the Candace Greene. For the financial consultancy, that's going to be Income Care Unit. And for the international agency, that's going to be Anasa Properties. And that's anywhere on socials: LinkedIn, Tickety Talks, Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
Thank you so much. I love the Tickety Talk. That's my favorite, definitely, to be on the show. So listen, if you're ready to turn your scroll time into passive income vibes, grab your notes, because Rapid Fire is coming up next. Don't move.
Content-driven world, podcasts are no longer just a trendy platform. They're a necessity for anyone looking to build influence, grow a brand, or create meaningful connections. Did you know 78% of podcast listeners don't skip ads? Or that podcasting has helped influencers grow their audience by over 25% in just 1 year? Podcasts allow you to speak directly to your audience, creating a bond that's personal, authentic, and powerful. They provide a platform to elevate your message and build a community around your voice. At the Connect Network TV, we bring your vision to life. With our expertise in storytelling and sound engineering, we make it easy to create a podcast that resonates deeply with your audience. The world is ready to hear your voice. With the Connect Network TV, you're not just starting a podcast, you're building a legacy.
Welcome back, Connect Fam. Stitches here with our gal pal, Wendy Morales. Our girl, Sandy, is out for her B-Day. We love you for free, Sandy. So today's show has been packed, right, Wendy, with gems. And now it's time for one of our favorite parts. You already know. we're jumping in to rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. Quick answers, real talk, no fluff. Let's go. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. What's one smart real estate move more women are making right now? Go.
I know because I live it. Snagging short-term rentals and listing them on Airbnb. That's straight up cash flow queen energy. Yes.
I like that.
All right, my turn. What is the best low barrier way to get started in real estate with little money?
House hacking, live in a unit, rent the rest, boom.
You got it.
Okay. I got another one. What's a rate and why do we love it?
Well, because it's real estate investment trust. It's like buying stocks, but in buildings. So no tenants, no drama, just dividends. Like a win-win. Yeah. And what's a turnkey property and why do boss babes love them?
Well, it's move-in ready, usually comes with management, and boom, you're making money while you're at brunch.
Love the money. Love the money making part of it.
Well, you're at brunch.
Hey,
Okay,
yeah.
so I got one more. Give us one hot trend women are using to build wealth faster.
Syndications. It's group investing in major deals with smaller cash, just like we talked earlier, and bigger wins. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Bam, 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 bam. I love it. That's a wrap for today, Connect fam. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we hope that these gems were helpful to you. Real estate doesn't have to be overwhelming, sis. It really doesn't. If you're not investing yet, what are you waiting for? That's really the question. Don't forget to tap in and connect with us on socials. Hop on over to IG. Tell us your moves that you're making, how these gems are helping or have helped you. Hop on over at the Connect Network TV on IG.
And don't forget, you can catch all our past episodes by binge watching them Netflix style on our website at theconnectonline.com. And in the meantime, please keep up with me on Instagram at Gone with the Wendy. And for all your real estate needs, please hit me up on wendy.morales@compass.com. Stitches, where can they find you?
I love it. Real estate tips and info, go to Wendy. Gone with the Wendy, honey. Gone and buy that home with Wendy. Ooh, that's good. I'm just saying. You can find me at STICHIZ, all social media platforms. And also, maybe if you're watching ESPN or if you're in Canada and you're watching sports, you might hear a familiar voice. That's your girl Stitches. Drop me a line at STICHIZ Stitches and on various iHeartRadio platforms. So thank you so much for watching Connect Fam. God bless, stay beautiful. Tell somebody you love them while they could hear it and receive it. If you didn't hear it all day. Love you for it. Happy birthday, Cindy. And happy birthday to you if you're celebrating as well.
You're watching the Connect Network TV on the CW.